I may as well flip to that slide. So this is me as a little baby. And then this is us around Easter time. This is our annual Easter photo at Olin Mills Studio. Some of you may be old enough to remember that. And these are my grandparents. These are my two uncles, and this is my dad. And then this is my family in our Cosby years. If you look close, you can see Vanessa and Theo and all that kind of stuff. And this is me as a teenager, and I know you can't see it real well, but I'm holding a double-barreled sawed-off shotgun in this picture. And I know that seems, kind of scary, but context is everything. And the context was scary too, all right? We were at a concert, and I don't know if you know what the band plays or any of their songs, but the name of the band will give you the kind of atmosphere we were in. And the name of the band was Public Enemy. All right? So that's me. So my dad and my mom, my dad was my pastor growing up. And on Sundays, we would go to church from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. We'd stop at 3 o'clock for chicken, not because we're black, but because chicken is delicious. All right? So Sunday, church all day. I asked my dad to borrow the car Friday night, and because my dad loves me, what does he say? No, he says, yes, he loves me. Right? So I get the car, I'm kicking it with my friends, I'm hanging out, I put gas in the car, I come home before curfew, and my father says I have what kind of an attitude? A good attitude or a positive attitude. And what do I say about my dad's attitude? That he also has a good or a positive attitude. So Sunday rolls along, my best friend Dexter calls me at noon and says, Andre, can you pick me up for the movies? What do I know about Sunday? Church all day. But I'm feeling gutsy because Jesus is my friend. If you call on him, he'll answer prayers, right? So I'm like, all right, Jesus, hook a brother up, hook a brother up. So I go up to my dad and I say, Dad, can I borrow the car? And what does my dad say? Not only does he say no, but he also gives me the lecture that he gives me about how I'm leading people to hell. Right? In our house, every negative consequence, the ultimate consequence was that you were going to hell. And either they would send you to hell or they'd show you the way. Right? And so what did I say about my father's attitude? That he had a bad attitude. And consequently, what did he say about my attitude? That I had a bad attitude. So what was it that actually drives or creates one's attitude? The achievement of your goal, right? I don't know if you've had teenagers, been around teenagers, or been a teenager yourself, but you deny a teenager access to their goal, and what kind of attitude do you get? Bad, nasty, and as my grandmother would say, funky. F-O-N-K-E. Funky attitude, right? At the same time, if you give a teenager access to their goal, how do they respond? Positively. And it's almost as if they purr. They want to cuddle. Right? Other times you can't get close to those creatures. Right? So an attitude is determined by a goal. So if I encounter a coworker or a member of the community who has a bad attitude, what is the one thing that I know about them for sure? They're not achieving their goal, right? And so there are two ways that I can respond to them in terms of helping them change their attitude. The first is the easiest, which is to what? Help them get their goal, right? So how can I help you? Help me help you. Right? How can I be of service to make sure that you get to your goal? But what if their goal is not something that's within my power? It's not within, the city to be able to do this. And even if they could, they couldn't handle it anyway. Then what becomes my responsibility as a helper? So I change their goal. That's what someone said. They said that I changed their goal. How does that work? All right, let's demonstrate. Can I have one volunteer? One volunteer. Just one. All right, good. All right. So, I'd like for you to put your hand up like this. I'm going to talk to the people, and then I'll come back.
Okay.
All right? So, I've been working out. All right? Sometimes when I'm in the gym and I'm doing my reps, people get me confused with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, right? Yeah. You know, you can't tell. I got a suit on right now, you know, and so I've been working out, and you know, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push his hand, and we're going to see what happens. All right? All right. So are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Great. So on the count of 3, I'm going to push, and we're going to see what happens.
Okay.
All right? 1, 2, 3. All right, good, thank you. Just give him a hand. What happened? Nothing happened. But what did you notice? What was going on with that exchange? It was a struggle. I pushed, and he what? Pushed back. Nothing got done. Right? So when we get into these power struggles with folks, nothing, what, gets done. Point 1. Point 2. If I try to impose my will on someone, what is their natural reaction to me imposing my will on them? They push back, right? There is a reason why the sacred scriptures say, if someone slaps your cheek, offer them the other one. Because the natural reaction is to what? Knock their head off, right? You slap me, right? And so when we impose our will, and this is one of the things that as city employees sometimes we do. We operate within rules and laws, and we have confines on the resources and the things that we can do. And sometimes we use those things as weapons, as opposed to using them for tools for good. And oftentimes, so we'll tell people what we cannot do and what we will not do because of our confines. However, there are ways that we can use those confines to help them come up with a new objective or a new goal. And so my job as a helper is not to solve people's problem, but to give them information that they can now make new decisions and set new goals for themselves. I cannot do this. However, if you talk to so-and-so, they might be able to help you with something. Or I cannot do this right now, but if you come back at a different time, we might be able to work something out. All right? So sometimes as you know, bureaucrats, we use those policies and procedures as weapons as opposed to tools for actually helping and benefiting change. All right? So what is diversity? Diversity simply is dignity and honor of being human. What does the word dignity mean? What is dignity? What's dignity? To be dignified. Proud. To be proud. To be what? Holding your head up high, dignity. Is dignity something that you have or something that you give? It is, in fact, both, right? So you can give dignity and you can also have it. Now, the interesting thing about dignity is if you don't give individuals dignity, they'll try to take it. I don't know if this happens in St. Peter's, but it certainly in St. Peter, but it certainly happens in the cities. And I'll be at a stoplight or at a stop sign, and there's a tribe of teenagers who are trying to cross the street. And I don't know why it takes them so long to cross the street. And I used to think it was because their pants were hanging too low, but I've seen them pull those suckers up and get moving when they need to do something, right? But one of the things that I noticed is that as they're crossing my vehicle, one of them makes eyeball-to-eyeball contact with me, as if to say, your kind of people, adults, don't ever see me any other time, but you will see me and recognize me now. What they fail to realize is I have no points in my license and very good car insurance. Right? but they're trying to get that dignity and honor in that particular time and in that particular